Get away, demon. Get away. Get away, demon. Get away. You have no place here. Oh. Om Shiva, Om Shivaji Maharaj, Om Shiva, Om Shivaji Maharaj. Give me the strength and power to slay these demons on the day of my birth. Give me the O Kali Ma Shakti Day. O Kali Ma, give me the strength and power. O Kali Ma, give me the strength and give me the power. Give me the strength and give me the power to slay the demons, to slay the evils, to slay the devil. You see, as soon as I see the demon through my naked eye, as soon as I see the devil through my naked eye, as soon as I see evil, O Kali Ma, mere ko sakti de. O Kali Ma, mere ko sakti dene ka. O Lord Shiva, O Shivaji Maharaj, grant me the strength, grant me the strength. O Shivaji Maharaj, grant me the strength to slay the demons and the devil on the day of my birthday. Well, today is August 8, by the way. Today, today is August 8. August 8 means it's my birthday, and I am still around living the words of truth and wisdom. Without going into any more detail, somebody said quite a few years back, numerous years back, somebody said quite a few years back, numerous years back in India, that prayers and well wishes can change or delay even death, you see. But I do not know if it is true or untrue. The only truth that I know is the truth that I know through my own experience. The only truth that you know is the truth that you know through your own experience. Rest is a story. You see, rest is a story, it's a point of view, it's all knowledge. It's all rubbish in British way. You see, in British, it's all rubbish. So, you know what you know, and you know only through your own experience. If I tell you what it means to die, you do not know, because yet it is not your experience. You see, however, I have experienced death before, so I know it through my own experience. I'm not asking you to believe me. You believe me, you kill it. I am not asking you to believe me. You believe me, you kill it. You disbelieve me, you kill it. Either way, you are not getting any clues to the truth. You see what I'm telling you? Either way, you are not getting any clues. You either believe me, you are not getting close to the truth, because you are believing what I'm saying without experiencing it. It's very simple. You disbelieve me, it is also you are killing it, because now you have closed the possibility that it could be true, and maybe in the future you could know, you see. So whether do not believe do not believe or do not disbelieve. Just remain open to every possibility. You see, today is August 8. It is my happy birthday, and I am still here. So back in India, numerous years back, quite a while back, Back in India, somebody said that prayers and well wishes can change your destiny or even delay death. I don't know if it is true or not, but I know there are my loved ones, there are seers, there are followers, there are truth seekers, and they love me. I know it. Whether they say it or they don't say it, they love me. Some of them are taking priority on others because some of them are doing practical and seriously seeking the truth and seriously seeking the wisdom and seriously are concerned with their own well-being. You see, those are the one more in accord with nature, but I love everybody equally and everybody loves me equally too, I know. So we will just leave it to that I am still around. It is August 8th, my happy birthday. Have you heard happy birthday? So anyway, so we are moving on. As you can see the title, since it is my birthday and I thought that I was not going to turn 44, which I actually did, and this is August 8th, 2022 is my birthday. I'm going to talk about death today, if you understand, because death is a subject which is taboo just about in every society. You know, people look at each other and they do this to each other. Shh, you see, have you ever done this? Shh, shh, shh. When it's a taboo subject, it is not socially acceptable. People are, it is it is a taboo subject. It is not socially acceptable because people are scared of it. People think that it is just like a curse, that as soon as you use this word, it would manifest. You see, isn't it what profoundly you are thinking? It always happens to a friend, it always happens to a celebrity, it always happens to a sports person, it always happened to a politician, it always happened to a neighbor, it always happened to somebody else, but it would never happen to me. Don't be so oblivious. It would happen to each one of us. And it can happen anytime, if you understand. So, oh, so don't be oblivious. It would happen to each one of us, and it can happen any time. There is no time that we know of. You see, look, there is time is a marker anyway. However, that it is decided based on the karma and it is decided based on the lessons. It is decided based on the karma and it is decided based on the lessons learned, that how far or close we are to it. And you also know, if you have been following me here on YouTube and you are hearing the words of truth and wisdom, and if you are a follower on Facebook, the social media which has banned me, BANNED, banned, which has banned me for some anonymous foolish reason. Anyway, it doesn't matter for me. I am here. I'm spreading the words of truth and wisdom on my birthday, and I'm talking about death. Okay, there is so much banning you can do on me. So the thing is, what I'm saying to you, that it is a taboo subject and people are scared of it and they get involved to shush each other as soon as they hear the word because they think it's going to manifest as soon as they say it. They are oblivious to the very concrete fact that we share with each other. We do not share many traits with each other. We do not know what's going to happen in the future, but we know this is a concrete fact that is going to happen one way or another. And when it arrives, basically, there is no way you can stop it. You see, no matter how many rules, no matter how many rooms, no matter how many doors, no matter how many basements or stuffs like that you hide yourself into, and you are guarded by the military of the world or the army of the world, You cannot still stop it. When it is done, it is done. Something more powerful, something more potent is running the show. You understand? You are not the say here. All you can do, or the best you can do, you can understand it. So you don't get scared of it. It's very simple. When you understand it fully, then you do not get scared of it. Then you become like me. You see, yesterday, when there were, if you remember my retreat yesterday, yesterday when there were only a few hours left, yesterday when there were only few hours left, according to the awareness I have, awareness has not fade away, by the way. Awareness is still there, it's just not happening on this day, or it might happen. Jay is still young. I don't know. However, either way, I'm not scared of it. Do you see any fear in me yesterday? Did you see any fear while I was aware that I might uh, do the transition? While I was aware, basically, that I may be doing the transition in next few hours. That's what I that's what I was uh, aware of. I am still aware. The awareness is not fading away. The awareness is not going. It just not happened as I had the awareness. Awareness is ingrained in me. This awareness still is not going anywhere, and I'm not worried about it. Even yesterday, when I had the awareness that I may not turn 44 after a few hours, and I might transit from the face of this planet Earth, which I didn't have no remorse or guilt or anything like that. I had no fear, you know what I mean? I am happy with the life. I am happy with transition. It's fine. Thy will be done, Brahman. Thy will be done. I have surrendered this mind. I have surrendered this body to you. You see, thy will be done, and I am ready. My free will is your will, Brahman. I live and I breathe for you. You see. Anyway, moving on. Like the fear of it is gone from me. You see, it doesn't scare me no more. You know, my body might resist, because there is memory stored in the body. My body may resist, if you understand, because there is memory stored on numerous level, even in the body and around the body, which we understand as mind. But by far, you know that. So what happens? What happens is basically we understand, we talk about it and we understand it. We talk about it and we understand it profoundly. So we are not scared. I understood it profoundly. I'm not scared of it at all. You are only scared of something. You are only scared of something when you have no comprehension of something. You understand what I'm telling you? You are you are only scared of something when you have no comprehension. Comprehension means you do not have a solid, you do not have a concrete, you do not have a solid, and you do not have a concrete understanding of the matter. If you understand, you do not have a solid and you do not have a concrete understanding of the matter. You see, you are scared. People are scared of the dark. Have you not noticed that? Why people are scared of the dark? While darkness is your fundamental state, the very fundamental state of Brahman, the sense of self-awareness or pure consciousness, is darkness. But people are still scared of darkness. You know why? Because they do not know what is it in the darkness. People are scared of unknown because they do not know. But once you understand and comprehend something, instead of shushing each other in any society, not in this society, in any society that is not a socially acceptable subject, that's why people are scared. And it is having an impact on their spiritual growth. You know why? Because when the time comes, they freak out. This three-dimensional experience which is being generated in narrow band. Remember, by far you know now it is a narrow band. It's not a broad band. You gotta stretch the rubber band to bring the broad band. So anyway, it is a narrow band, and narrow band means and and narrow band means that you are not fully coming to terms with it. If you understand, you are not fully coming to terms with it. Um, the narrow band. It's the experience what you understand as life, and it looks linear to you because something in your brain make it look like linear. It's not linear. Everything is happening at once. Everything is happening all at once. If you understand, it is not linear, but it looks like it is linear. So you are thinking is coming from somewhere, is going somewhere. We have talked about that. This is just an experience which is being generated. You see, it's not linear, but you feel like it is linear. But if you see it through my eyes, the eyes of truth and divinity, you would know it is not linear. But if you see it, but if you see it through my eyes, the eyes of truth and the eyes of divinity, you would realize it is not linear. Because the more your awareness gets heightened, the more transparency of things you would have. You would see things that other are not able to see. You would sense and perceive things other are not able to sense and perceive. You have broken the barriers. Have you ever broken the barriers? Huh? It's fun. Don't you think so? Have you ever, you have broken the barriers. You have broken the barriers of physicality. You see, you have transcended a little more. You have transcended you have transcended a little more as far as physicality. You have broken the barriers of physicality. Now you can sense things that other cannot. So clairvoyant, that's what a clairvoyant is. And I am a clairvoyant because I made myself available. I made myself fertile enough to be receptive. That's the best way in English that there is that I can put it. Yeah. So what happens? What happens is death is nothing to be scared of. Once you understand it, people were, as I mentioned not long ago, people were scared of the darkness. People, as I mentioned long ago, people were scared of the darkness because they didn't know what's in the darkness. People were scared of unknown. They didn't know what is unknown, but as soon as unknown becomes known to you, you are not scared of it. People even were scared in this very country not long ago, even 3-4 decades ago, of people of color, because people of color were minority. They were scared of them because they couldn't understand what these people are, you see. But once you comprehend, once you have a sound understanding of what it is, you are not scared, because there is no such thing. Because there is no such thing as death. You see, I am highly reluctant to use the term death, and you know why I am highly reluctant? Because there is no such thing as death. There is just life and life and life. Life is an energy which is being manifested. Excuse me. Life is an energy. life is an Life is an energy basically which is being manifested by your fundamental state. We have talked about the sense of self-awareness. We have talked about pure consciousness. We have talked about chitta. That's what you are. You are the sakshi. You are the silent observer. You are the silent witness. You see, that's what you are. But the interaction of this sense, basically, but the interaction of this sense gives interaction of this sense with itself, basically gives birth, gives illumines an energy which is life. Life is an energy, and that energy gives birth and form, and that energy gives birth and form the shapes and the forms, if you understand. And that energy gives birth and form to the shapes and the form, and then we human name everything, and we come up with the titles, and we use them as markers to survive. You see what I'm saying to you? That's what it happens. So I'm basically telling you that there is just life, the infinite line of life. There is just life. There is no such thing as death. You know, by far, I am reluctant highly to use the term death. You see, because there is just life. There is no such thing as death. There is such thing as bodily demise. Bodily demise is just the perspective that how are you looking at it, if you understand. It's just the perspective that how are you looking at it. If you think that you are body and you are your mind, what you are seeing on a very basic level, which you are seeing on a very basic level, which you are seeing on a very fundamental level. If you think that you are your mind and body, and this is all it is, you see, then you are seeing life, you are seeing the mysteries of the universe on a very fundamental level. You see, your vision is not broad. You are not using, your vision is not broad. Om Shiva. Your vision is not broad, basically. You are not using your broad band. If you understand, you are just using your narrow band, because you are identifying yourself with your body. Because you are identifying yourself with your body, and you are identifying yourself with your mind, the thoughts, the identifications that you have formed, the concepts that you have learned, the theories that you have learned. Basically, you are identifying yourself with all that, and that you are your, God forbid me, you are your psychological drama. That's how atheists basically think. They think this is it, and they become very selfish. Have you not seen atheist people who do not believe that there was something before and there was something after? Isn't it foolish? I'm not condemning, I'm not judging you, but it is foolish not to look at the bigger picture. Well, obviously you are so rational. You are so rational in every matter in your life that you use logic. You are so you are so rational in every moment of your life that you use logic in just about anything. You even get highly qualified, you are highly intelligent and stuff like that, but when it comes to understand yourself, you have no explanation, and you act like the most foolish person that there is. You would believe that obviously if there is an effect, there must be a cause. You see, you would believe the third law of motion of Isaac Newton. You would you would believe You would believe that if there is an effect, then there must be a cause. You would believe the third law of motion of Isaac Newton, that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. You would even read books and books. You would acquire tons of knowledge. You would go around and act very rational. You even become scientist, and the level and magnitude of your intellect becomes really high. But when it comes on to understand yourself, everything goes, you just brush on everything. You just throw it under the river, you just throw it under the water, and you do not believe. You believe that if you are seeing the effect, there must be a cause. You believe that every action has an equal and opposite reaction, the third law of motion in physics by Isaac Newton. You believe all this, but when it comes to understanding you say, no, we just come from nowhere and we go nowhere. That's very true, actually. So you are not entirely wrong. But also, you must understand nowhere is something. Nowhere is somewhere. But that's why I said in the detail, that's why. That's why I said in the detail, and that's why I said in the description. That's why I said when I wrote the description of this message that I am delivering on the day of my birthday about death, I said that you cannot understand, you cannot comprehend death. If you understand, you cannot understand and you cannot comprehend death through your thinking mind. If you have to comprehend and understand death, because your mind is limited, your mind tries to make sense out of things out of nowhere for no reason. And when mind cannot make sense out of things out of nowhere for no reason, mind becomes very vicious and mind turns into a parasite, and the being basically starts breathing suffocated. Unfortunately, remember I told you, when there is duality in you, your breathing is suffocating, unfortunately, slightly, if you understand what I'm saying to you. But if there is no duality in you, if you understand, if there is no duality in you, then your breathing is smooth and you are like a feather. You feel lighter like a feather. So make sure that you are breathing smoothly, because we are really concerned, we the yogis, we the sannyasis, we the yogis, we the sannyasis, we the meditators, we the sages, we the wise people are very concerned with your well-being, and we want you to be happy. That's why I am even delivering the words of truth and wisdom about such a taboo subject, which is death. So I told you there is no death, there is just life, and life is given birth by the sense of self-awareness and pure consciousness. It just depends the perspective, basically. It just depends the it just depends the perspective of the person. Through the perspective of an atheist, you think this is you are your concepts, you are your education, you are your ideas, you are your theories, and everything that you have learned, all your psyche, all your psychology that you have learned, and you live in that world, and the accumulation that you have gathered, your body, you say this is it, and this three-dimensional experience, which is a really narrow band, is all it is. You see, and I have explained how irrational you are. You may be very rational in different aspects of life. You can be even a scientist, but when it comes down to, that's what I'm saying, when it comes down to understand yourself, you have no rational explanation of how everything is working. Yes, you come from nowhere and you go nowhere, that's true, but that nowhere is somewhere. That nowhere, this nothingness is somethingness. You understand, to make it easier for you, that nothingness is somethingness, but you don't comprehend that because you have never bothered to understand yourself, that what's really happening. So if you, from the perspective of an atheist, as I explained, there is death, because obviously the person says, okay, the body is dead, so I am dead, because you are identifying yourself with the body. because you are identifying yourself with the body, and you are identifying Om. You are identifying yourself with the body, and you are identifying yourself with the mind. That's why you are saying, I am time. Once you are identifying yourself with the body, and you are identifying yourself with the mind, then yes, there is death for you. You see, you become what you believe. It's very simple. You become what you believe for a long period of time. That's what you become. But when you leave the body, according to you, when death happens to you, you see, when death happens to you, according to you, you freak out because you still exist. It's just you have lost the body. And you say, I was not supposed to feel my existence, you see, but I am still intact, and my body is there. I am here and I am there. So, how that is working? So, here is the question for you, my atheist friends, that how is that working out for you? Huh? So, the thing is, no, you are more than your body. I have explained that yesterday, that you are more than your body and you are more than your mind. You remember something. Yesterday I gave you the metaphor of the hand, that when you look at your hand is not aware of you. You are something bigger than your hand, so you are aware of your hand. You see, just like that, something is bigger, something is more vast, something which is not subject of the principle and the rules of physicality or physics is beyond. It is non-local. If you understand, it is non-local, as Lord Krishna, as Mahashri Krishna, as Lord Krishna, and as Mahashri Krishna says in the sacred book of Hinduism, Bhagavad Gita, it is not local. It means it's not in time. It means it's not in any dimensions. It means it's not in any directions. If you understand, it is non-local, means it's not in time. You cannot locate where it is, but it is everywhere and it is nowhere. That's your beauty. That's what you essentially are. You are not your mind and body. And when you leave the body, when you think that you are dead, you are still alive and you are still feeling everything. You have a sense of existence, and that sense of existence is you. It has never left you. Everybody left you and everything happened, this and that. But it has never left you, and it would never ever leave you. When all the relationships have failed us, when all the friends have failed us, then the entire society have failed us. I'm not saying that it happens to people, but it happens. Obviously, it's a fact that people sometimes are failed and others have failed them. Well, it's not a big deal anyway. If you don't have expectations, you wouldn't feel hurt. If you understand, you only get hurt when you make unrealistic expectations. We talked about that yesterday, by the way, too. Anyway, moving on. So that sense of awareness is still intact when everybody has left us, when everybody has abandoned us, everybody has become selfish, but that sense of self-awareness is not going anywhere because you cannot walk away from yourself. You see, that's why it's so significant and that's why it's so dire to work on yourself, because you are perceiving everything within you and you cannot walk away from yourself. You see, so start working on yourself and understand you are more than your body and mind. Your body and mind, yes, it dies. You see, it is the demise of the mind. Does not actually, because mind actually imprints the tendencies that what was your way of thinking during your life, that would imprint on your karma. You see, and good luck humans. I see most of you. What was your way, by the way? Good luck humans, because I see, it's not a judgment, but I see it, that how most of you are acting. You see how I'm not saying I'm better, I'm much aware. Hence I'm much aware. I love myself. If I love myself, I do not do stuff like that that would have a negative impact on my karma. You see, that's what self love is. Self love is not that you are fluffing your lips, or you are fluffing your breast, or you are showing your arms and all that, and look at the mirror basically. You look at the mirror and you say, you look at the mirror and you say, oh, look how cool I look. You see, I'm going to take bunch and bunch. Oh, how cool I look. And I'm going to take bunch and bunch of selfies, and I am going to post on social media so I can get some likes. You are seeking the reaction. It's not self-love, it's arrogance basically. And if it hasn't turned into arrogance, it would lead you to be arrogant, which is obviously imprinting on your karma in negative way, just so you know. That's not self-love. Is self-love is you become more aware, then you become more aware of your actions, and you do not perform the actions which go against you. That's what self-love is. You do not perform the actions which have a negative impact on your karma. You see, so mind basically still survives, but body dies, but mind survives, along with the basic fundamental sense of self-awareness. It's not, mind is not important here. Mind is a mode of your own self. And when I'm saying mind is a when I am saying mind is a mode of your own self, when I am saying, I'm repeating, it's important for you to understand. When I am saying that mind is a mode of your own self, it means mind exists in you. You have the upper hand on the mind. So do not be so what we understand, do not surrender to it, do not be so overwhelmed. Understand this three-dimensional experience is a very small happening on the immensity of what you are. So explore your immensity and do not invest your faith in the lies such as death, because there is no death. But yeah, your psychological drama which was going on, you form the attachments with people. You form the attachments basically. You form attachments with your relations. You form the attachments with friends. You became too attached. You see, you became too attached in this three-dimensional experience because you didn't have the clarity. You didn't have the awareness. You became too attached in this three-dimensional experience because you didn't have the clarity and you didn't have the awareness. The level of your awareness is not very high. That's why you couldn't see clearly. Unfortunately and sadly, that's why you couldn't see clearly. That's why you couldn't see the transparency of things, you see, and you said this is it, just like the atheist folks. You see, they say this is it, and they become too attached, and then they say whatever I want to do, just this is it, so I just gotta do it, and they commit atrocities, sadly and unfortunately, because they say this is it. After I'm gone, no judgment, no nothing. This is it, but this is not it, and that creates a lot of chaos in the society too. You see, it's out of order. There is no order, so that creates a lot of chaos in the society. And because you think this is it, so you are forming bonds, you are getting involved in the addictions because you want to get high, you want to take the pleasure of everything. I hope you understand what I'm saying to you. The more, and then in your oblivious, and since you are oblivious to it, and then in your oblivious, and then in, since you cannot see past a certain limit, you form attachments, you see, and attachments gives birth to fear. You know how? Because when you are scared all the time profoundly in the back of your mind, it can be taken away. You know it. And that's why you become scared. And when you become scared, and when the hour of death according to you, when the hour of death arrives, you freak out. And believe me, you don't want to do that. You don't want to freak out at that hour, you see. But that cannot be changed because that's how you have lived your life. If you have lived your entire life in a certain way, do you think it's just going to change in a blink of an eye? Do you have that kind of control on you? No, it's common sense. So live your life in a way that when these things are around, then you can cherish it. When these things are around, then you can use it. When other relatives, friends are, there is nothing wrong again. There is nothing wrong. There is nothing against it. We the meditators, we have nothing against, you see. Just remember it does not belong to you. If you understand, just remember that it does not belong to you. Nothing belongs to no one, basically, and everything belongs to everyone. Nothing belongs to no one, and everything belongs to everyone. Just know that, okay? So you form attachments and you freak out. If you have lived your entire life in attachments, then it's natural you're going to freak out when the hour of death arrives. And when that happens, there is nothing really you can do, and it's not a very pleasant state to be, specifically when you are transiting, if you understand. So understand what I'm saying. Cherish life around you, cherish family around you, use stuff, of course, if it is around, but have the awareness that everything is very fragile and it does not belong to nobody, and everything belongs to it does not belong to nobody, and everything belongs to everyone, and nothing belongs to no one. You see, nobody is in the possession. When we don't have any possession on our body, obviously, otherwise our psychological drama and our body, we would just want to keep going for another 500 years or 1,000 years. You see, if we had any control on it, we have no control on to be, and we have no control on when are we transiting. Remember that. So whatever the time in between is, understand what dies is the identification, is your image in the society, is all the connections that you have made, it's all the earning that you have earned, the financial status, the bank balance, the cars, the luxuries, your reputation, you see, your reputation, your ego, which is a socially induced hallucination, which is a socially induced hallucination. All it is now coming to end. If you understand, all it is now coming to end. All it is now coming to end, to never be seen in that particular context again. If you understand, all this is now coming to end because to never be seen again in that particular context, in through that particular view. It is coming to end for good. It is coming to end forever. It is coming to end, and there is nothing no one can do about it. That's what dies, you see. How you have lived would survive, and it would basically how you have lived your life, it imprints. How you have lived your life, it imprints on your karma, and it survives, and it gives birth, if you understand. This is what we understand, if I am not mistaken. This is this is what we understand, if I am not mistaken. It is what survive is jiva, you see. Sanskrit, it's not English. Not everything is English, by the way. So it's Sanskrit. So jiva, and jiva gives birth to jivan, which is a carnation, and based on the samsara. That samsara is what you understand, what you are experiencing, samsara. Okay, so it's very easy to understand. It's not a concept. It's not a theory, basically. It's a fact. You see, in yogic culture, in yogic science, we know it through our own experience. So this is all dies. You see, you invest so much in your lifetime into these things. You see, we tell you cherish it, cherish your relation, cherish your family, cherish your friends, nurture them. Nurture, the very nature of the life is to excuse me the very nature of the life is to expand. It's the very nature. If you see, the very nature of the life is to expand. So nurture. When the commodities are around, use them. You see, nurture the relations, nurture the family. You see, there is a difference between forming an attachment and nurturing something. Nurture, give love, and invest your time, which is fine. We have nothing against it. I do it all this also, but I still have the awareness and concrete awareness that does not belong to me, and everything can change in a flick of a finger. You see that if you have that awareness, then you are okay. Then you understand. Then you do not suffer when the hour of bodily demise arrives. You see, I told you I am reluctant to use the term death with good reasons. Now you understand. You see, so ponder on what I said today. If you misunderstood something, you can ask me questions. You can always ask me questions. I am here at your service and you can ask me questions. Okay, do not run away since I stopped telling you the story. Do not run away since I stopped telling you the stories, basically. Sit and meditate with me for some time. Honey? Happy birthday. I'm still on medication, okay? I'm on caffeine, so I will see you downstairs. Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm back. Thank you for standing by. Don't go anywhere. Stay here with me in this state of meditation. You like to hear stories. The stories won't have no impact on you until unless you do practical and free yourself, by the way. Free yourself by doing practical, by taking your faith out of superstitions, you see. You are too quick to judge. I know that. You see, I'm not scared of being judged, by the way. Most of you are. You are. You are too quick to judge. I'm not scared of being judged, but most of you are. Sometimes I, I know quite a few things, but sometimes I look forward to a reaction to see where you stand, if you understand what I'm saying. So you are too quick to judge. You jump into the conclusions very quickly. You form opinions very quickly. You jump into your mind races. You want to just draw a line. You want to form opinions without knowing the entire story, without seeing the entire picture. You are, the more insecure you are, the more you are scared of being judged. You know that this was another awareness. This was another awareness. This was another wisdom that I wanted to deliver, other than to talk about bodily demise, as I am reluctant to use the word death, other than to talk about bodily demise. This was a brief and a small awareness which was in the back of my mind. So sometimes I stage things to see what kind of conclusions you come on. You understand what I'm saying to you? And also, you are too quick to judge. That's why you do not rest within yourself. Your mind is constantly judging and judging, and then you get scared because then you get scared of being judged, and because the more insecure you are, the more you are scared of being judged. You see what difference it makes in your life if somebody judges you. I'm asking you a question. What difference does it make in your life if somebody is judging you? How long are you going to stick around in this fragile world, basically, which is full of judgments? I mean, yesterday I was having this conversation and I said that I am fine either way. Somebody was having a conversation with me. Somebody was having a conversation with me, and they were saying there is not a shred. Basically, they were saying there is not a shred of fear in you. Basically, what is your secret? And it looks like you are totally at peace and you have come to the terms with it. I said, because I know there is no death and I know it through my own experience. If something yet is not in my experience, then I wouldn't have mentioned it here. The only features, the only wisdom I share with you is what I have acquired through my own experience, though, if you understand. You see, otherwise I wouldn't have mentioned it here. I know it through my own experience. You see, so stop the judgment thing as well. If you don't want to be judged, do not judge others. What difference would that make if you judge somebody, if you understand what I'm saying? What difference would that make in your life that if you judge somebody? It would make no difference. Your mind would get full for a couple of seconds and then you go back to zero. However, the negative aspect of that is that you have imprinted that on your karma. You see, that's why. Live with good tendencies and then you wouldn't have to be scared of death. You see, I have explained what it means to death. So if you need to understand that, you have to go beyond the thinking mind, because your tiny little thinking mind is very limited. You know what I'm saying? All right, do not run, do not go anywhere. Stay here and meditate with me. Silent the mind. Shh. Silent the mind. Keep meditating. That's the best you can do. And it would bring joy, happiness, love you, and peace for everybody and everything in the creation. You see. Om